Hello friends and greetings for the day. Welcome back to the tutorial on ISTQB Specialist Performance Testing Certification. We are in chapter 1 talking about the basic concepts and moving into the next topic, that is 1.2 types of performance testing. As a part of this segment, you will be actually exposed to different types of performance testing. So performance testing is just not one particular thing where we just summarize talking about conducting performance executions, measuring performance parameters, but these parameters can be actually tested from different point of view, and that's what you call it at different types of performance testing. Now these types of testing can definitely be elaborated further in deeper dive. Once we understand the basics, we will look into that in the upcoming chapters. Now here in this particular topic, we're just trying to define that how exactly different concepts of performance testing can be tested and can be called as a type of performance testing. The different types of performance testing can be defined. Each of these may be applicable to a given project depending on the objectives of the test. Now that's where the objective is something which makes a change in a particular performance test, making sure that which type it is when we conduct them. Number one is the basic definition to performance testing. Performance testing is just not a particular type, but it is actually an umbrella under which all the type of performance tests are being conducted. So it is an umbrella term which includes any kind of testing focused on performance, including all the factors and parameters of the system or component under different volume of load. So generally we define that, for example, performance testing is to test the response time, resource utilizations, transaction throughput, hits per second, pages per download, and the client and server interaction, a lot many other things like that by varying the number of users. Now, another thing here to talk importantly is load and stress testing. Now, load testing focuses on the ability of the system to handle increasing level of anticipated realistic loads resulting from transaction requests generated by control number of concurrent users or process. In simple terms, load testing is to test an application for all the performance parameters by testing the application under a defined load. Now that defined load will be as a part of the requirement. For example, customer is looking for 100 users to work on this application at any point of time, be it simultaneous or interval, but when you test up to 100 users, you call it as load testing. On the other hand, stress testing is being conducted to find out the bottlenecks where exactly the system crashes, and we go beyond the load limit. So 100 is the load limit in this particular scenario, and when we go beyond 100 users and test the applications, we call it as stress testing. As the name suggests, stress is trying to strain a particular scenario with number of users being increased and see the behavior of it. Now the question which pop up that why would you like to go beyond the limit which has been defined as a part of the requirement? Because we want to make sure that what if the system crashes at 101? Like 101, if it crashes, I cannot just give that product to the customer and say that, yeah, it's working fine for 100. Because no matter however you are testing, it is a virtual interface. And in real time, things can go here and there, and I cannot just deliver you, which is a critical limit being close to the load limit, or the crash point is close to the load point, right? That's where stress testing is being conducted to see that the crash point is a little away from the load limit and generally considered to be as 25% of the load limit being considered as a margin between the crash point to the load point. Another one is scalability testing, where scalability testing focuses on the ability of a system to meet future efficiency requirements. Now this basically stands for that to what extent this application can be optimized or added value to if in case the customer comes back to you stating that, all right, initially you created for 100 users, now we want it for 200 users. Okay, maybe down the line 1 year or 2 year, not really the next day, but of course a future requirement can always pop up when it comes to performance because you expect the team to grow. So initially you do conduct a scalability testing to make sure that is there a possibility that this can be further enhanced to meet any future requirements. So when you target those part of the application like architecture and design of it to decide whether this is a scalable product or not, you call it as scalability testing. Additionally, we do have some more important things which you do understand and remember. So we are talking about spike testing. Spike testing basically focuses on an ability of the system to respond correctly to the sudden burst of peak loads and return afterwards to a steady state. We are talking about the application which comes across some online sudden offers. Now, what exactly this means? For example, you may have heard of certain applications which offer a particular discount at a particular point of time during the 24-hour duration. Now, they say that exactly at 9 a.m. in the morning, you have some great discounts to avail. So make sure that you log in sharp at 9 and claim those offers. But the offers are limited, so make sure that you get one. Now, of course, throughout the day, we had approximately, let's say, 10,000 users. But when it comes to 9 a.m. in the morning, the application experiences a sudden peak up to 50 to 60,000 users logging in simultaneously. And that load is reduced within few minutes because all those offers gets vanished within few minutes and all the people again log out and the average load remains the same after that, that is 10,000. Now that's what is called as a peak, which is created in the graph of number of users and sudden drop. So sudden increment and drop is called as spike, and that is what is called as spike testing. The other one is endurance, where we talk about the number of users or maybe any particular count of users, but not working simultaneously. Instead, they work for a continuous period of time. That means initially 5 users log in, but they don't log out, and another 5 users log in. So people are logging in but not logging out, and at certain interval of time people are continuously logging into the system. It's just like an interviewer taking interviews of different candidates, and this person is acting like an application, and different candidates are coming at different interval of time, and this person is just building stress right from the morning till the evening. At the evening is that the interviewer crashes, saying that no, I'm just done for the day, probably I cannot take anything longer. Because a consistent load, not spike, not simultaneous, but sometime consistent load for a prolonged period of time can also result in disadvantages of the performance of an application or degrade the performance of an application. And that's where endurance testing plays a vital role to be tested for any particular application. The next one is concurrency testing, where we talk about the simultaneous and can also be referred to as volume testing. Now here we generally talk about all the users which are desired to be using that application simultaneously hit the application at the same point of time. Now, why do we call it as volume testing? Because volume is entire volume of that particular container. Same way here, the entire volume trying to sign in into the application or perform an activity together is what we call it as concurrency testing. It is just not limited to number of users. Sometimes it is also related to the amount of data. When a large amount of data is being added to the system at a time is what you call it as concurrency testing or volume testing. The other one is capacity. Capacity testing determines how many users or transaction a given system will support and still meet the stated performance objectives. These objectives may also be stated with regard to the data volumes resulting from transactions. So that's another thing to check the capacity of the system which it can handle at any point of time, and just want to make sure that this meets the expectations of the requirements and the system at any point of time. So that's where the capacity testing also plays a vital role, and it's just from the point of different objectives which you can actually target, and these all types cover one or the other way different objectives of performance testing. So that's all from this particular tutorial, team. Should you have anything else, feel free to comment below. I'm always there to address your queries and answer them well. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring, keep understanding the context. Thanks for watching the video, team, and happy learning.